Don, what do you think?
Where do I start, Wolf? I was about to jump out of my chair. I'm going to preface this by saying, this guy is an 8-track tape in an iTunes era. If Donald Sterling thinks that he helped himself, or if that attorney thinks he helped Donald Sterling, then he is sadly mistaken. That man that was just on television is just as out of touch, if not more, than Donald Sterling with the things that were coming out of his mouth. If you're going to get on television and you're going to talk about how you supported black causes, you should know that the name is the United Negro College Fund, not the United Negro Fund. You should not get on television and say that Donald Sterling has been a member in good standing of the league when he actually sued the league because he wanted to move the team from San Diego to Los Angeles. You should not get on television saying that Donald Sterling is not a racist and we should not believe our own ears, because he said as much in an interview with Anderson Cooper. He compared African Americans to Jewish people, basically saying that Jewish people were better because they helped each other and conducted business better. Even if you don't use a tape, which he is disturbed by, saying that the NBA invaded his privacy. The NBA did not go into his living room and recorded him. V. Stiviano did it. The NBA is not concerned how the tape got into the public domain. It is in the public domain. It is having a negative impact on the NBA. That's all they have to be concerned with. And if he is worried about that tape getting out, an invasion of privacy, what that speaks to is Donald Sterling's judgment or lack thereof about the people he has around him, like V. Stiviano, who will record him. So that doesn't speak highly of Donald Sterling, that he allowed someone into his life and into his home who recorded him and then released a tape. There's so much more that he's a loyal member. They damaged his reputation. Donald Sterling damaged his own reputation by coming on television and saying what he said. He wants to be vindicated. If he wants to be, listen, I'm all about forgiving people, all right? I'm a believer in a higher power. I forgive you. But if you want to be vindicated, go back and look at the tapes. Go back and look at what you said beyond the tape that was released to the public that you believe was released illegally. I just think that it was ridiculous. And I really want to talk about, when he talks about, he's had several head coaches and general managers and all of that, and he's really helped the African-American community. Elgin Baylor sued him. Elgin Baylor said that he had a plantation-style mentality and he wanted to run the team that way.